All right, welcome in everyone. Sports Heroic Podcast. Chris and Jesse doing this two a week thing. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
How we doing, Jesse? How we doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, even though my Wolves they didn't win last night, but I
Uh,
think they still have a little momentum for Game 3 going back to the Target Center here.
oh, who would have saw that coming?
Yeah, you want to talk about that one first? You want to go somewhere else first?
Yeah, sure, we can talk about that one first. Might as well.
So Wolves Lakers last night. Uh, well, I should say Wolves versus the Lakers and the refs, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
The Lakers take it 94-85. It was like a 90s. It was like an old fashioned 90s game.
Yep.
Uh, Lakers came out and punched the Wolves right in the face with their physicality, and they were
hmm
hitting shots like crazy, and the Wolves could not come back with it. That was the main kind of thing I got out of the game, and the Wolves just weren't making their shots. That was kind of what I got out of it. Kind of sloppy game
Yeah,
for both teams.
I think minus the sloppiness as far as like the way in which they were playing defense and offense. They were playing like they were pissed off,
Hmm.
like they really took offense from the first game, but rather than doing what I think a lot of people thought they would do and, diva out. They were playing aggressive as shit, and it was
Yeah,
really cool to see. I mean, Luca was throwing some dudes around, throwing his body around a little bit.
he was. Yeah, and after the first quarter, the Wolves outplayed the Lakers, but it's just it's too much to overcome. And the
Yeah,
Lakers in the fourth quarter, I think Austin Reeves hit a couple big shots in the fourth quarter for him, and he
yeah,
played a lot better than Game One.
yeah. It kind of seemed like they felt like it was gonna be an off shooting night anyway, or they could just tell. It didn't
Yeah,
it didn't necessarily seem like they were forcing it in just like sheer numbers, like we're bound to make some. I think the reason why it was sloppy and not very high scoring is because they put a lot more energy into playing defense
hmm,
and being a lot more aggressive physically on the offensive side too. So
yeah.
you could definitely tell at the end of the game that they put a little sauce on it.
You think
Lakers
with
bench showed up.
you think they can win without a fourth guy, or you think the three is good enough? Because you saw in Game One, Austin Reeves he was kind of silent, and they lost Game One, but the Wolves hit 21 threes. That's not going to happen a lot.
No, no. And honestly, I think depending on like who they're going against, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
because
I mean, Luca can
I mean,
score 40 or plus any game he wants.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think it depends on, even if the three main dudes, are putting up pretty good numbers, it's still going to take the others.
Hmm.
So it's either they're good, they're bad, or they're somewhere in the middle. If if they're
And
somewhere in the middle, then the other three have to be on point, especially in the playoffs.
we haven't really seen the best game out of LeBron James yet, and we haven't seen the best game out of Anthony Edwards yet. So I
It's
think
coming.
that's yet to happen.
It's coming.
And LeBron typically comes up with big games when their back is against the wall. Like down 2-1
Yeah,
or down 3-1, and bring them back. I would
yeah,
hate to see that as a Wolves fan, but I'm just saying, any one of those two can lead the team in any night. That's the scary
yeah,
thing with the Lakers. If Luka's not scoring 40, LeBron's having 28, 12, and 10, and then if
yeah,
Reeves is scoring 15 plus, well, you're in trouble.
yeah,
So
exactly. Because if they're getting assists, that means other people are scoring off of them as well as their points. So
yeah,
if it's a high assist game for the Lakers, chances are they're at least like at 120.
yeah,
Because at that point the offense is flowing, they're grooving, they're not really they're not really stressing so much on the defensive side just because their offense is humming. So they're going to put a little bit more focus on that and then kind of give up whatever they can here and there on the defensive side because they want to keep the offense moving, obviously.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned assists because Anthony Edwards did not have one assist in that game, which is crazy. First time in 3 years. That
Yep.
just kind of tells you that the Wolves, other players weren't hitting their shots. I mean, I think they're 5 of 29 or something from three, something like that.
Yep. Yeah.
And it goes to show you, no one was hitting their shots, and I think it's on the both sides. Both teams were kind of. And credit
Yeah.
the defense. Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. The Lakers' intensity on defense was really, really high to start. And I think the Wolves
They
just
made
could
it
not
personal.
overcome it. Yeah,
Like that's I can't remember if it was in game 2 or game 1. I think it was game 2. JJ Redick just came on the court just super. I mean, it's happened a couple of times, I'm sure, but I mean, just a little clip. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" And blah. Like he's losing his mind.
yeah.
So
I
I
heard
think it
about that.
wasn't. So yeah, but that's obviously that's the type of championship mentality you have to have. I mean, any good coach, player, players, like right on down the line to the dude at the very end of the bench that's, just observing. Anybody that's,
Yep,
around it is like, if they're passionate and they care, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck are we doing? Like, we know we should be kicking these dudes' ass. Like,
yep.
what is going on?"
That's good
So I think
coaching
to have
right
that
there.
awareness. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Anyone that wants to, regardless of what the Lakers do this year, anyone that wants to discredit JJ Redick will just look right back to that situation right there. He
Yeah,
pretty much got them back into their, mindset, positive mindset, and it obviously helped them.
yeah. And I think that uh, out of all the teams to get Luka Doncic in particular at the time in which they did,
Yeah,
I can't help but think of their podcast last year talking about Luka, all the times that people have asked JJ who his favorite teammate was, the person he wants to coach the most. It's all been about Luka, even way before Luka got there.
yeah, yep,
So he's been imagining, apart from being the Lakers head coach before then, he was imagining on the side all these different things and these actions and plays he can run for Luka.
yep,
Meanwhile, his team was doing very, very well already, with a
yep.
strong emphasis on defense for a long ass time there, which was bizarre in and of itself. Um, but just them getting him of all players was really, really, really interesting to me.
Yeah,
Because LeBron's always said nothing good things about him. Obviously, JJ Redick has talked about him a lot. They were the main focus on the podcast, essentially, primarily because it was the finals and their championship run and all that. But nonetheless, they're just fanboying over this dude. So it's really interesting to see that he got him mid-season, and I don't know how hard it is to like really coach them into cohesion because they're two really smart players. Like they'll figure it out.
yep, yep.
But to be able in his first year to accomplish what he's accomplished is pretty insane.
Yeah, it really is, and it's almost like the Lakers planned it. Like it's almost like they said 2 years ago. They sat down and said, "Now, what if we get a JJ Redick like coach? I'm not saying JJ Redick, maybe him like a coach. And what if we pair him with Doncic? Well, then it
Yeah,
kind of became evident. Oh, we're gonna get JJ Redick. Well, we got a chance to get Luka Doncic. He loves him. LeBron loves him. Let's make this happen."
I don't know.
And they said it with the
It's
trade.
just
They kept it a secret. Nobody knew until what, half hour before they made it or something. Is that what they said?
yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It's
that's.
it's all a little weird, yeah. It's all a little weird.
I think the Wolves. I don't know if I heard anything on this, but I think they need to make a point guard change. I mean, Conley's just. I like Mike Conley, but he's not contributing at all anymore. 0 points, 0 of 5, 1 assist. I think they might need to either put Alexander Walker or DiVincenzo in that starting lineup. I really do, or at least cut down on Conley's minutes. He played 21 minutes. Dante
Yeah.
played 16. I mean, he's just not contributing.
You know who they could get?
Who's that?
Who would be it's just some goofy, fantasy, but it would be really, really interesting if they could somehow end up with Russell Westbrook. Because watching him and Anthony Edwards play would be awesome.
How many years do you think Westbrook has left? You think he has a few
Like
years left? Three,
3 or 4,
maybe?
he still plays like a maniac, so I really can't.
He's playing well
He's
for Denver right now too.
like he's making a big impact. I mean, he's still shooting his shit, but I mean,
And he won a game on the defensive side. Remember that?
yeah, yeah, just pure energy alone. It's like, my
Yeah,
God, dude, how long have you been in the league? Okay, that long? How are you still doing this? Like,
yeah,
it doesn't look like he ever slowed down at all.
yeah,
He's like a little bit beefier from his first couple years, but apart from that, man, he's 1000% every second he's on the court.
yeah, yep,
Like, love him or hate him, he's one of the most entertaining players ever. And when he goes off, like, dude, if you ever want to have an awesome 5 minutes of your life, just Google Russell Westbrook like crowd hype compilation.
I think
Some of the
Russell like
plays that,
wants to win too. That's another thing with
oh,
him. He's
yeah, he's an
competitive.
animal. Yeah, extremely.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know what they're gonna do in the offseason, but they'll have a lot of questions to answer,
Yeah,
you know, and it's all about like what Edwards wants too. You know, like keep throwing around the thing of getting Durant. Well, like what do we have to get rid of? But you want to keep Edwards happy. You want to get kind of the
yeah,
guys that he prefers to play with. But it's like I don't want to give up Durant if it's for like McDaniels or Nas Reed or one of those. I mean,
yeah, one of the core guys.
you're throwing away your core, but Nas Reed has a player option next year that he's likely going to decline, but he is open to re-signing with the Wolves. So, like, they're probably if they don't get him back, they're just going to lose him, and they won't have
Yeah,
him to trade for Durant.
it'd be interesting.
So I don't know what they're
It'd be
going to do.
interesting.
But I don't know if you saw the story. I did the story, a Gobert story about how he's getting how he's getting killed about his defense,
Yeah. Yep.
and he held Luka and LeBron to 2 of 7 in isolation, according to NBA stats. And I don't think he's. I think he's playing good defense. I know the Lakers are trying to keep him off the court, but just hasn't happened yet. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Austin
Yeah, he's still
Reeves
out there.
kind of tore him up there at the end of the game,
Yeah,
uh,
a little bit.
but he locked down Luka and LeBron. Like
Yeah.
the
I mean,
shot Luka made on him was that fadeaway. I don't know what the hell that was. He made it somehow. You know, shots that
yeah.
Luka normally makes.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing he can do about it.
But they're definitely playing better with him on the court. The percentages
Yeah.
are, Lakers are like under 35% with him on the court and almost 50 with him off. So,
Yeah. I don't
but
know. I've been listening to like First Take and stuff all day, and it kept making me laugh that I'm not a huge fan of his at all. I think yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him. But
I
I
mean,
think it's
I'm not gonna
funny
argue
that,
with you either. There are a lot of people that don't
yeah,
like him.
yeah. But as far as, you know, his defensive player of the year status and all that, like, I'm really surprised that people are so surprised that he's doing as well as he is. Like,
Yeah,
I would expect that. I would expect what he's
yeah,
doing.
me too. Yep.
Not be surprised by it and be like, "Oh, look, he can play defense." It's like, "Well, no shit, that's all he does."
Yeah, I mean, look at his offensive numbers. The first 2 games, he's just been a
Yeah,
non-factor.
yeah, exactly. So, I
But
mean, yeah, he's a pain in the ass, but they're gonna figure him out eventually. Like, I don't think he's gonna be able to lock him down, both of them down, or all three of them down for 3 more straight games.
I mean, you think it's tough to do it for that long of a period.
Yeah,
But the good thing with Gobert, I mean, the Lakers are doing a good job with the screens switching on to him.
yeah,
They're doing a good job doing that, and the Wolves aren't switching. The Wolves aren't staying. They're switching everything. So, but the good thing with Gobert is he knows his role. He knows what he's good at. He doesn't try to score. You know, put back dunks, lobs. He doesn't try to
yeah,
force things. He knows he's got to rebound the ball and play defense. He knows his role.
I think Mitchell told taught him that the hard way
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
last year. Last year in Utah, when dude, every single time he was like, throwing his hand up for the lob, and Mitchell
Yeah,
was like, "Nah, fuck you."
yeah, yeah. There was that
Oh
weird
my god.
stat thrown around where like Donovan Mitchell passed to Gobert like the least amount of times of any teammate
Yeah.
on the court or something like that. Yeah.
Yep. Fell asleep on the court, never got the ball.
Cavaliers ended up winning, but they got outscored in the
Okay.
fourth. They won 121-112, so
Damn.
they're up 2-0. Donovan Mitchell 36-6. Tyler Hero at 33. So it's going back to Miami.
Damn.
And
Who knows?
one more thing about the Wolves. Um, it's gonna be rowdy. Friday night,
Yeah.
it's gonna be rowdy in the Target Center.
Yep.
And Luka was kind of talking about that in his post game. I don't know if you heard that on Twitter or X or whatever. He's talking about it's gonna be a dog fight because he remembers how it was
Yeah.
last year.
Yep. That's right.
God, that fucking shot he hit, man, last year just made me cry. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
That 36-foot step back with a guy in his face just fucking nails it, man.
He's
It just,
he's a frustrating player if you're not a fan of whatever team he's on, because I remember a couple years ago when the Suns were going against him in the Western Conference Finals, I was getting so pissed, practically like wanting to punch the TV because I'd be looking at these refs going, dude, he's walking, he's taking
Yeah.
3-4 steps to the fucking basket, and then
Yeah.
you see him with a hand in his face or some dude literally just like slapping him, and he makes a shot from a place only he could do from at an
Yeah.
angle that's like awkward as hell, and you're like, all right, well, he just is that good. That is the realization that I have
Yep.
as a person that did not like him at all because he kicked my son's ass. At the end of the series, I'm like, he might be one of the best players ever when it's said and done. Because what the
Yeah.
hell did I just watch?
And like when he makes the impossible shots, people are like, "Oh my god, how did he do that?" Well, he practices this stuff all the time. The impossible
Yeah,
shots are like easy for him now.
yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah,
he
and
shot that one from behind the hoop. Okay, that's like normal for him now.
yeah. Did you not see him just pass the ball in between our dude's legs to his teammate over?
All right, let's see if it gets
Let's see.
dialed up here. All right, we're back, I believe.
Part two.
Maybe. Gotta go to live. There we are. You can hear me, right?
Yep.
All right, sorry about that, guys. That was a OBS crash. That was not me this time. I swear. But we're back. So yeah, we're just kind of recapping Luka, the Laker game, and what Luka does, and how good he is, the shots he can make, and it's crazy, crazy the stuff he
Yep.
can do.
Yep.
And a couple of Easter Sunday games. Celtics beat the Magic. Magic were close for a while till the second half.
Yeah.
They actually had a 1 point lead at half and then kind of fell apart. But they lost tonight as well, so they're down 2-0 going back to Orlando. And we talked about the Cavs beat the Heat. Warriors had a little trouble with the Rockets too. They ended up winning, but
It's-
Sengun played a hell of a game for Houston.
Yeah.
They ended up winning
I
by
don't
10,
know.
but it's that second quarter by the Warriors. They outscored them 29-13. It's kind of like the Lakers did to the Wolves. They just couldn't come back from it.
You want to talk about how did he hit that shot? I saw at least two or three from Curry that game. Like that one on the baseline where
Yeah.
he was in the stands while the ball was in the air. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and he just looks, and you look at him and you say, oh, yeah, I knew that was going in. He's just, oh, yeah, cool.
That was insane.
He's
Yeah, some
he's
of the
like
shots
Luka
he-
to me. They don't have any hard shots anymore. There's no hard shot for those two players.
It's a bad shot for anybody else. It's a Hail
Yeah.
Mary for any other player besides those two and probably Dame.
Hmm.
Other than that, no one else in the league. I would put Jokic in there too, but
Yeah.
no other players in the league should shoot a shot like that because it's just a bad shot. For
And,
them,
yeah.
that's just part of what they do.
And when Curry's, pulling up from 38 feet and just draining it, and he just kind of looks at you like, oh yeah, I knew that was going in. It's like, you're damn near half court, man. And
He
Luca
doesn't.
end of half's throwing up half court shots. It's going
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
It's like Jesus.
No, Curry's all bullshit. Um, kind of earlier on in his career, where he'd get the ball and just fly up the court and like make defenses kind of freak out, and then just pull up from half court and almost start running back the other way while the ball was in the
Hmm.
and make it. It was just disrespectful.
Yeah, we talked last week about his movement without the ball and the
Yep.
screening that they have on that team to get him open. Seems like whenever he moves without the ball, whenever he gets it for the shot, he's always wide open.
Yeah.
It's crazy how open he gets on his shots, and Curry ain't gonna miss those.
No, 'cause they just keep layering dudes. Like anytime there's a screen right here, they'll set another screen for another dude going the opposite way
Yep,
constantly.
yep,
So it's just like they kind of just swirl the inside of the paint, kind of like
yeah,
this, and then you kind of lose him, and pretty soon he's over there, wide the fuck open,
yep.
shooting a shot. By the
You
time you
can't,
close
yeah,
out, doesn't matter.
you can't sit back for a second, or else he'll just be gone, and he'll
No,
have the ball. Shot will be up, and it's in.
yeah,
Yeah, the other Easter game, Thunder Grizzlies, 51 point loss for the Grizzlies, and 44 in the third for OKC. I love one of the post game comments Ja makes. He says, "Well, I'll guarantee you we won't lose by that much next game."
yeah. Well,
Well,
they didn't.
I hope. I mean, would they lose by 22 the next game?
Yeah, so he kept his promise.
So yeah, they've lost by 1970 points in 2 games.
And it didn't look like the Thunder were even trying. That's the sad part.
The Easter game, it was layup, 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 open three, layup, open three. Like Memphis was like looking around, looking behind him. Oh my God, he's open. Oh, there's two guys open. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think the Grizzlies are gonna lose by less than 20.
no. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
Ja Morant, he
yeah,
disappeared game two.
yeah.
Had a
Again, kind of like we
25.
were talking about last week, is dude needs to realize that he hasn't won anything yet. He's not a defending champion. Like they kind of hold themselves like
Yeah.
they decided not to do well in the playoffs the last couple years. Like, no, you've been getting your asses kicked in the playoffs is what's been happening.
Mm-hmm. That's another interesting team. What are they going to do? Are they going to keep Ja Morant? Are they going to try to trade him because of his off the court issues? Desmond Bain,
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson. Can they keep all them together? Jaren Jackson, he's done like nothing this series, has he?
No.
I saw Barkley or Shaq or one of them too. Well, actually, he had 26, but he hasn't really no assists, no steals. That's a kind of unlike Jaren Jackson, but I think I heard Barkley or Shaq call him one of the most overrated players in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah. And they bum me out because they were an exciting team. I mean, with all the size that they have, with all the skill that they have, Desmond Bain is a beast. Obviously, John Morant's a monster. With that little point guard dude that they got, what he was doing earlier in the season, he was killing it.
Is that Scottie Pippen?
No, I think he's I don't want to get it wrong.
He's talking
They
Memphis, right?
yeah, it's an Asian dude that they got in the draft. I don't remember his name.
Is it Oh, is it Yuki Kawamura?
Yeah,
Yuki, yeah, Yuki.
that dude's a monster. But no, I'm disappointed because they're an exciting team. They're obviously a super high scoring team, but I know they had some coaching stuff going on, so I'm well aware of that. But just their recent resume, I think at some point you need to stop just thinking about the fans and start thinking about the franchise because
Yeah.
the fans, they'll pack the seats in the regular season for Ja and his dunks and all that, but
Yep.
this is how many years now straight where you're not even looking like top four in the West anymore.
No. Nope.
So it's cool that you have, that swag and that, we want all the smoke, we're going up the chimney. Well, you need to back that up somehow, right?
Yeah. They might need to lay off the smoke a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, stop acting like you won shit. You haven't won anything.
Yeah.
You haven't even been to the finals. You haven't even come close.
Yeah, the John Morant injury factor is a thing, Every year he gets
Yeah.
injured, so like can they afford having him out for 20 some games every year? I mean,
Well, if he's
I
not
don't know.
injured, he's doing some other dumb shit. So it's like,
Yeah, or suspended for something off the court.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
don't
I
know.
don't know.
They're another team that's probably going to have a lot of questions to answer at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Coach being one, GM being another, and
Yep.
their players too. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, because they're not in the position that the Pistons are, for example, where they came into the playoffs and it's like, all right, cool, these dudes are in the playoffs, awesome. But
Yeah,
the
and they have
difference
nothing to
is
lose. They're playing with
yeah,
nothing to lose.
if they lose to the Knicks, it's like, okay, well, it's the Knicks. As long as the Knicks can get their shit together and look a little bit better, like that excuse is kind of valid because they won their first playoff game in like almost 20 years.
Yeah, yep,
So as a fan, you're like, dude, fuck yeah, we made it, we won one, like this is, like
yeah,
this is a good sign. If you're Memphis and you get swept, it doesn't matter if it's by Oklahoma City. You've been to the playoffs enough times with the same roster or similar roster. You should
yep.
have figured it out by now. So
Yeah,
now teams are surpassing you.
they're
Like
going backwards.
you were top two, top three. Now it's like, well, Denver's ahead of you. Okay, cool. Well, we knew that. Now
Yep,
Oklahoma City is
way ahead of
running
you.
through you.
Yep.
Golden State's looking like they're ahead of them. The Lakers are probably ahead. Actually, the Lakers are
Clippers,
definitely ahead of them. Oh, the
Clippers,
Clippers. Yeah,
Wolves.
absolutely. Yeah. So at that point, you're seventh,
Yeah,
and you're gonna stay that way until one of those teams makes huge changes and stops being good.
yeah.
So it's not looking good for them.
No, it's not. Well,
They could benefit from a Kevin Durant.
they could. I don't know if you'd want
They
to go
could.
play with in Memphis with Morant, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, punk ass job, but I like him. But dude, he's got to get it together.
It's the same thing with Zion we talk about. When is he just gonna learn, dude?
Yeah.
Just get with it. Get with the program. We
Yeah.
understand you want out, but it is what it is. You're in New Orleans. The fans love you. Whatever fans they can get there in New Orleans. Just
Yeah.
stick it out, man. Stick it out and get a big contract.
Yeah.
The more you sit and the more you don't cooperate, the lower your salary, your next contract's going to be.
Yeah. And the biggest superstars don't give up on their teams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're usually in a position a lot at the time to at least leverage change to work in their favor.
And they're going to get a good draft pick. And like I said last week on our podcast, if they can stay healthy and they get a good draft pick, they could be a dangerous team.
Yeah.
Because they have McCollum, they have Ingram, they have Zion. If they get another guy to pair with him, I mean, he needs to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll stay in the West. Clippers now made it a series. They tied it up with the Nuggets on Monday,
Yep.
105-102, basically behind Kawhi Leonard. 39 out
If
of Kawhi.
if he plays that way for the rest of the series or the rest of the playoffs, they might be going to the finals.
15 of 19 shooting.
Yeah,
I mean, that's incredible.
like not only is he known as one of the best defenders, which makes him already a pain in the ass, he can drop 40 on you,
Yeah. Yep.
which essentially translates to him giving you 60 because if he can stuff all of your whoever he's guarding, keep them from getting a couple of points here and there, that translates to him preventing like half the amount of points that he scores.
Yeah, and if he's going to shoot 15 and 19, the Nuggets aren't going to have a very
Yeah,
good chance of winning.
yeah, yeah, and he's also not really super ball dominant, so
Yeah.
there's also that. He's a problem.
And then you throw in like James Harden, you got 3-point
Yep.
shooting Norman Powell. You know,
Zubats.
Zubat had another double double, 16 and 12. Harden had 18, Powell had 13. So I mean, they don't just have Leonard; they can spread it around a little bit.
Yeah.
My only thing is their bench, though. Their bench isn't very strong. They got Batum; he's old. Derek Jones Jr. is kind of whatever. I mean, we know about Ben Simmons, and Bogdanovich just doesn't seem like all year he's just not involved enough with the team to really have an impact. And that's all they
We might
play.
see a huge
It's
Ben
nine
Simmons
deep.
game.
What's that?
We might see a huge Ben Simmons game.
Hopefully, it's not impacted on his offense. Hopefully, it's something defensively because we know what he can do offensively. Nothing.
When the game is 101 to 99, just remember that Ben Simmons scored 2 points in that game. It doesn't
We
matter
gotta
if
get.
Kawhi had 50.
I'll give him his credit. If it's a
Yeah.
2-point game and he has 2 points, I'm gonna come on here live and I'll say, "Good job, Ben Simmons, on your 2 points."
If the Clippers win by two, and even if he scores in the first 5 minutes of the game without that contribution, who knows what could have happened? Just
Well,
remember that.
he put in 8 minutes, and he had 2 fouls
There you go.
and a couple rebounding and assists. So unlike Kyle Kuzma, he had a stat, right? Kuzma didn't have
Yep.
a stat in 21
Yeah, and he
minutes.
played like, yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
Which is almost impossible for a starter.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Doc Rivers is like, oh yeah, we'll have to find a way to get him the ball. It's like he was out there for 20 minutes and he couldn't figure out himself how to get the ball.
Yeah, it was 0-5, so it's not like he didn't take shots.
It's like he's one of your main players. Like you
Yeah.
kind of need him, right? Because yeah,
And
yeah, that's bizarre.
Jokic for Denver had another triple double, but he did have 7 turnovers though. They were kind of making him work. The thing of the Clippers is
Yeah,
they made him work for his points.
yeah,
He had 26 points, but they weren't easy. And he
no,
had some bad passes. He had a couple go off their guys' hands, and 7 turnovers is pretty high for him. Normally he's down the 1 to 3 range,
yeah.
and 20
Now,
turnovers as a team. That was pretty much the theme for that game.
Yeah, you could tell he was getting pretty pissed off throughout the game.
Yeah, you really see him kind of calm and cool through the whole game because normally he doesn't have 7 turnovers, but yeah, he was getting frustrated.
Yeah, he was he was yelling at the refs. He was getting
Yeah,
pissed for
yep,
sure. And I can't really blame him on because some of them were like they look like blatant fouls to me.
yeah, they were.
Like
There's a lot of scrapping, a lot
yeah,
of
like
reaching in and coming over the
yeah,
top kind of stuff. Yeah,
yeah. Like they looked like they were playoff fouls, not just
hmm
regular season fouls. Like they looked like they were playoff fouls where
yeah,
they were beating the shit out of him, and the refs were letting him play, which cool, but man, I could definitely see why you'd have 7 turnovers and you're getting pretty pissed off.
it's got to go both ways,
Combine
just
all
like
that.
Thibodeau said.
Yep.
Thibodeau said, if you're gonna call it, I don't care how you call it. It's just got to go both ways.
Yeah.
But Murray had 23. Michael Porter had a big game, 15 and 15 for Porter. He's been pretty silent the last month or so. And Gordon and Russell were also in double figures, but not enough to beat those pesky Clippers. They've been a surprise team all year to a lot of people. Kawhi Leonard got healthy that last month or two of the season. The Clippers went on a huge tear and ended up
Yeah.
getting they were the 4 seed, weren't they? Or were they the 5? No, they're the 4 seed over the Nuggets. No, 5.
Yep.
Nuggets are the 4. So it's
Okay.
going back to LA at 1-1, which is kudos to the Clippers gutting out that game too.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been probably the most surprising team in the playoffs just because I I don't know if it's right. I feel like it's pretty fair though to automatically see the playoffs coming up, see Kawhi and go, yeah, they're not getting very far. Like I was definitely one of those people.
Hmm.
Nobody expected him to be able to play this long and this well.
Yeah, and he played 39 minutes in that game too.
Like he could not miss.
No,
He was
back to
throwing
his
out on
Toronto days,
defense.
right?
Oh my God. Yeah, it was. It's like you forgot how good he was because of his
Yeah,
injury history,
showed flashes
and
of
then
it.
you remember, and it's like, oh yeah, this is fucking Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You look at the
yeah,
Clippers and you see, you know, Kawhi Leonard injury prone, getting older. James Harden older. Zubac, he's good. Then you
yeah,
see like Russell Westbrook. Or no, sorry, that's the Nuggets. Then you see Norman Powell. He's more of just a 3-pointer. And you see, how is this team so good? Well, it's Kawhi Leonard factor. When he
yeah,
plays and he's effective, Kawhi Leonard shows that he's a winner.
yeah,
When he plays and when he can be effective.
yeah. When Harden's bought in and he's nailing his shots too, like those two together, they're a problem.
Yeah, James Harden has been a big reason why the Clippers went on that run too. Got to give him his credit too.
Yeah,
And
for
Zubac
sure.
was playing out of his mind as well.
Yep. Yeah, those three, they might be the Clippers' big three.
I think Norman Powell. I think he averaged over 20 points per game. I think for the
Yeah,
season.
I've always liked him. I've always liked him.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind seeing the Clippers win that series. I do think Nuggets will take it, but I wouldn't mind seeing the Clippers come out winning that one.
It would be exciting because I think they'd be playing Golden State next,
Okay, yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. I think you have to look at like the seedings on that, see what other top seeds win first, and yeah, something
Yeah,
like that. Because if Houston loses, then it kind of messes everything up. Because typically your higher seeds win,
yeah,
and it's high versus low. But we'll have to see. A couple more days.
yep.
Over to the East. I know you want to get talking about the Knicks, but we're gonna do that one last. We're gonna go to the
Oh,
Pacers Bucks. How about those Pacers, man? 2-0 on the Bucks,
yep.
and
Oh,
the Bucks just seem like they're defeated after 2 games. It's like Indiana is physical, and you could tell Milwaukee is not having it. They do not want to play a physical game.
yeah, yeah. It's just surprising.
They're still doing the countdown for Giannis at the line.
Of course.
You know, Giannis had 34 and 18 with 7 assists. There's not much more he can do,
No.
and they still lost by 8.
Yep.
With Lillard, Lillard played 37 minutes his first game, which is I can't believe he played that many minutes his first game.
Yeah. He didn't do super well though, did he?
4 13. He had 14, 7 assists, but he was a -7. Had a couple turnovers. So, yeah, he didn't do typical Dame stuff, but Bobby Portis had 6 threes for them. He had 28. So you get 28 and 34 out of your big men and you lose by 8. That is not good for Milwaukee. And they got to go on the. They're at home now. So, yeah, yikes. They're in trouble.
They need to turn it around soon, because they're another one of those teams where, man, I don't. They had that championship run, but man, I don't see that happening anymore unless they make a lot of changes.
They had the Middleton issue. Chris Middleton couldn't stay healthy. I get why they got rid of him. They had to do something with him. They went out. They wanted to get younger. Okay, Kyle Kuzma. He has not been what they wanted out of him. He's not contributing. And I think for Kuzma, he's the type of guy that always has to have the ball in his hands. And I think with Milwaukee, with Lillard and Giannis, I just don't think he's getting the ball enough to keep him happy. I just don't think
Yeah.
he's 100% into the game. It could be his young age, and it could be he's just not involved in the offense enough.
Personally, I think it's just the Doc Rivers effect.
Yeah, the coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be.
Besides 2000, besides 2008, man, Doc Rivers getting his team in a playoff shape and them getting their asses kicked in series has been a thing.
Yeah, hey, you're definitely right about that. You are. I never really
Um,
considered that. I forgot that Doc is there all the time. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, Philly threw away some pretty crazy playoff series.
they did. Philly, that Philly debacle was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And Indiana's scoring. Listen to these starters: 24 for Siakam, 16 for Neesmith, 15 for Turner, 17 for Nebhard, 21 for Halliburton. Those are their starters. And Benedict Mathurin had 14 off the bench, but all five scorers or players in double figures for the starters.
Yep. Yeah.
And they
Means
shot
Milwaukee's
almost
offense is
50%.
non-existent.
Yeah.
Jesus. Non-existent.
Yeah, I don't know. It's 34 and 18 and 7 out of Giannis. What more can he do? I mean, he's got to go 40-20 to have a chance.
Yeah, just to have a chance, you need to put up historically impressive numbers.
I think if he tries to do that, I think they'll even lose by more because I think they'll be forcing it too much.
Yeah.
So they got to have someone step up. It'll be an interesting game 3 for sure.
Yep.
Well, now we
Yeah,
get
if
to
they
the. You got anything else into the other games? Anything else?
No, I was just checking, and Golden State's catching Houston right now.
Down 13. Oh, yeah, they were down, what, 17, 18 before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit ago. They're catching up.
I think
But
they'll make it a game. I really do. I don't think it's going to be a 14-point game for much longer.
no, I think it'll be. Oh, it's not even halftime yet. Yeah, they'll be close to tied by halftime for sure.
You know they'll go on a run in the third like they typically do.
Most likely.
Uh Knicks Pistons. Knicks wouldn't get that first game, and Pistons gutted out the game 2. Cade Cunningham and company. And did you see how much Brunson flopped in that game again?
Yeah.
What the heck, man? That guy. So I looked up some of his videos, and I guess it's a thing with him. I didn't know that he was a big flopper, but I guess it's like been a couple years.
He's kind of like what Harden was for a while there.
It's just Dennis Schroeder hit that big 3 with like 20 seconds left. It's one of those where 3 on the shot clock. You're like, oh no, I don't want you shooting it. Oh, okay, good shot, good shot.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Schroeder's one of those guys, man. He's not scared come playoff time. He'll jack it up. He'll hit it, and 20 points.
Yeah.
He can play. He's a veteran. He knows how to play in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah, a ton of playoff experience for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. The physicality that Detroit came out with, it was impressive. It was also assumed that that would be the case. But
Yeah.
somebody, man, it's like Karl Anthony Towns didn't get the message that this was real life. It's like everybody was working off a script that only he like was given. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
Like it's like when you're playing with a little kid and they're like, "No, you have to play it this way or this way," and then like you kind of they end up just throwing their hands up and go, "I don't want to play this with you anymore. This is,
Mhm.
this isn't how we play."
Yep.
That's how it felt watching Karl Anthony Towns.
He looked lost,
It
didn't he?
just looked like it just looked like he assumed it was going to be a lot easier than it was.
Yeah.
And then he he didn't know what to do once, Detroit was like, "No, we're playing a basketball game here. The goal is to win." Do you
Yeah,
not remember that or something?
he's never been
So,
he's never been a guy that likes physicality, even with the Wolves. His whole career.
yeah.
And once Detroit's came out and bodied him up and pushed him around a little bit, it looked like he got scared. Like he's like, "Oh, I don't want anything to do with this."
Yeah, the self-proclaimed best shooting big man in the league. And I think he said that on purpose because he didn't say like he included big man, but I think putting shooter in front of that means he wants to be more like a Dirk Nowitzki instead of, you know, mixing it up down low, which clearly he does not want to do.
And if he wants to be like Dirk Nowitzki at least posted up still too.
Yeah.
I don't see Towns. He was doing that with the Wolves for a while, and then he went strictly to just shooting. I think with the Knicks, he's just strictly a shooter now. He doesn't post up at all.
No, he's playing a little bit like a diva, man. He's not playing like he wants it.
Yeah, and Brunson at 37, 10 for Hart, 10 for Towns. 0 of 2 from 3. Only took 2 3-point shots. 5 of
Yeah.
11 shooting. Yuck. Minus 10 as well.
Yeah.
Ouch. 10 for
I
OG
feel like
and 19 for Bridges. And then
I'm
they had
gonna say
8
maybe
bench
Bridges
points.
I think Bridges was their best player, honestly. Besides Brunson, I mean Bridges had a huge impact on the game.
Yeah, he had 3 steals too. He played good defense.
Oh yeah.
Hit a few threes and only 8 bench points. That's that's crazy. And for Detroit, there's a difference because Jalen Duren showed up. He had a double double. He didn't do anything in game one. And Tobias Harris had a double double. He didn't show up either in game one. It was pretty much just Cade Cunningham. And
Yeah.
Thompson didn't have that good of a game, but he impacts the game differently with his defense and stuff too.
Yeah.
And if you get Tim Hardaway
Duren,
shooting 0 of 8 and you win, that's pretty good.
yeah, Duren blocked the absolute shit out of Josh Hart. It was hilarious.
Yeah, Duren had 3 blocks, and I think all 3 of them were huge blocks too.
It was like, my God.
I think he put him on his ass, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, kudos to Josh Hart because he looked at him and was like, I could dunk on your ass for sure. I mean, he gave it his best effort, but
Yeah.
good God. Yeah, he got sent immediately back down to earth real quick.
So tomorrow at 6, it'll be Knicks and Pistons. That'll be in Detroit. I mean, we can say Thunder Grizzlies, but I don't think this series matters. That's going to be in Memphis. Nuggets Clippers play tomorrow. That's tied at 1-1. They'll be in LA. The Friday games, Lakers at the Wolves. That's 1-1. And Celtics go to the Magic and Pacers go to the Bucks, and that's 2-0 matchup. Celtics up and Pacers are up. So
I
yeah,
think it's
interesting stuff. And like Golden State's 35-48. Houston's up now. And Saturday, I forgot. Oh, Saturday, Cavs go to the Heat. They're up 2-0. And then it'll be Game 3 of the Rockets Warriors. That'll be at Houston. Or no,
I
at
think it's
Golden
really
State.
interesting.
Sorry, at Golden State. Yep.
Oh, okay. I think it's really interesting. I know it happens with every playoffs, but it feels like with this one in particular, there's a lot of teams that need certain pieces, and they're pretty apparent in most cases. They get a little bit more glaring in the playoffs, depending on, matchups and things like that. But you're really seeing the gap between the top teams in the West and the mid to bottom teams in the West, especially with this playoffs, because is OKC really that much better than Memphis? If so, then that changes the pecking order a lot. And if
Mm-hmm.
Golden State is way better than Houston, well, that changes a lot too because they were a second seed.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. Like obviously regular season doesn't matter a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Like it only proves so much.
Yeah.
But I thought the Bucks were pretty decent until they came into this series, and all of a sudden they're not. They look like absolute shit.
They look like their age, don't they? That they it's an
Yeah,
aging Bucks team, and they get to the playoffs against a young and gun Indiana team that wants to be physical, and they
yeah,
just cannot keep up with them.
yeah. And on the other side of that, like, the Nuggets, they were looking really good, and then all of a sudden they're not really looking so hot. And the Clippers, who were like, yeah, whatever, it's the Clippers, all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, the Clippers. Like
Yeah,
everybody's on notice.
yeah,
And
they're
then you
taking it
see
back to L.A. tied at one. It's yeah,
yeah, you see Boston and Cleveland, it's like, okay, that's supposed to happen, but it's like, damn, is like Miami's here, but like how much can they sustain really? And then all of their issues are really glaring.
yeah,
Orlando's kind of like, yeah, whatever. But the success that Detroit is having kind of changes a little bit of things in the East too, because it's like, oh shit, well, the Knicks were pretty good, but how good are they if
yeah.
they lose to the Pistons in the first round? So the offseason is going to be really, really interesting.
If the Pistons can get another guy like Cunningham, like the three spot, look out for that team. Because if they can keep
Yeah,
Beasley with the 3-point shooting, I mean Tobias Harris isn't really much value to me. You know, they got Duran,
yeah,
they got Cunningham. I mean, if they can add another guy, they're going to be even a better team, like top four seed in the East, especially in the
yep,
East.
yep.
Do you think how much of a difference do you think the 7 and 8 seed in the East and 7 and 8 seed in the West? Because you got the Magic and Heat in the East, and the Warriors and Grizzlies in the West. Now, do you think Boston and Cleveland are kind of more coasting? I mean,
Yeah.
OKC is clearly coasting, but Houston's not. But Boston and Cleveland, it seems like they're just kind of going through the motions till it gets close, and then we'll turn it on. Oh, they're coming back. Okay, we'll turn it on again.
I think I think the West has the edge in slightly better teams, holistic or not even holistically, slightly better teams and more like certain matchups. But I think the East has better teams holistically. I mean, they're more well-rounded.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
starting starting five versus starting five, I think the West has a slight edge,
yep,
but top to bottom, the Cavs and the Celtics, either one of those teams I truly believe could beat OKC.
yeah, yeah. I think Boston and Cleveland. I think more defensively minded than like OKC, Houston are. I know OKC's balanced all the way through, but Houston's more of like offense, and like Boston and Cleveland
Yep.
are both offense, defense, but rely more on defense. I think for them.
Those guards are big.
Yeah,
Like all their positions they're not small dudes. Like even if they play small, they're not small. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are not small dudes.
yeah,
And then you
and
got
for
Tingus Pingus. He's not small.
I love that Tingus Pingus. I love that.
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus? You gotta look it up. It's so funny.
And Jalen Brown, 36. He gutted that out tonight against the Magic without Jason Tatum. And yeah, we didn't really talk about that game. That was tonight, earlier tonight. Boncaro, 32, 9 and 7. Franz Wagner, 25. He was kind of a surprise get for them, wasn't he? Wagner. I didn't think he'd be this good, honestly.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
And Boncaro looks like he could be All NBA here in a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna be a problem. He gets the right pieces around him. That dude is gonna be a problem for sure.
And Tatum didn't play. He had that bruised right wrist on that dunk he had in game one where I think it was Wendell Carter Jr. that went up and fouled him in midair. And Al Horford commented after the game that they said, he said something about repercussions, but he didn't really say it like that. But he said he thought they did it on purpose to try to hurt him. But I looked at the play several times, and it didn't look like to me like he's intentionally trying to do it. He's just trying to make a play on the ball. And then when he jumped up and tried to block it, he realized, oh my God, he's dunking it. And then Tatum just kind of fell on his wrist.
I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Yeah, tell me what you think. At first, when you first see it, it looks like intentional, but if you look at it a couple times, I don't think it was clearly intentional. But Horford doesn't talk a lot. Horford's normally clear-minded, kind of quiet. So
Yeah.
if he says something, there's got to be probably something up.
I'm gonna have to watch it one more time. I can't tell.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep tabs on
Nah.
Tatum for Game 3 because he was out tonight. Uh, I think they might have 2 days in between. Let's see. Do they have 2 days? No, it's just tomorrow. They play again on Friday, so he'll have one day to get better. We'll see if he plays in Game 3. Being up 2-0, I don't know if they have to rush it now. You know?
No, not really.
Because you saw tonight that Jaylen Brown was able to handle things himself, but we'll see what happens as the series goes on.
Yeah, but it's impressive because I thought Jaylen Brown was, yeah, with his knee and everything like that. Seems to
Yeah.
be okay.
Yeah, he also
Seems to
got
be
looked
back
at
in.
before the playoffs too. He got his knee scoped, and they cleared him and everything. But that's a good thing to think about too for Boston. Are they banged up right now? Tatum
Yep.
hurt. You,
Yep.
you can't rely on Porzingis. I mean, he had a good game tonight, but he'll probably be hurt too.
Oh man. Hopefully
and
not, dude. I want the Pingus to play.
and Horford's old. He doesn't really do anything offense. He's more of a defensive player for them.
I mean, still a problem though.
Drew Holiday, Derek White, they're good players. Peyton Pritchard,
Yep, 6 man of the
congrats to
year.
him. Six man, yeah.
Yep.
What'd you think about? Did you see any of the awards? You want to go through the awards? Did you look at any of those? Or
I didn't look at all of them now. We can go through 'em.
Brunson won Clutch Player Award over my guy
Makes sense.
Edwards and over Jokic.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think he should have won that too. I mean, I know Edwards had a couple clutch plays, but not as clutch as Brunson was.
No.
No, let's see, what other ones were there? The sixth man was Pritchard, which that's not a surprise there either.
Nope.
Um, so that was the third year that the Clutch Player Awards. It's named after Jerry West. Curry won it last year, obviously, and De'Aaron Fox won it in 23.
That's right, De'Aaron Fox. I couldn't remember who.
Yeah.
That's right.
Defensive Player of the Year will be awarded tomorrow, so that one hasn't been awarded yet. And I guess those were the only two: Most Valuable Player, Most Improved, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and the All NBA, All Defense, All Rookie teams will be in the next few weeks. So maybe next week when we come on here, we'll have some more awards that went out.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see who wins Coach of the Year.
Yeah, it's got to be like Detroit's coach has got to be a front runner, right?
Yeah, I would say him, JJ Redick. Probably, I mean, Joe Mazzulla, just for getting him back in the
I got the
still
finalists up
top
right
recognition.
now. So MVP is obviously between Giannis, Shai, and Jokic. We all knew that probably. Rookie of the Year is between Steven Castle and the Spurs,
Hmm.
Zachary Reischasher from the Hawks, and Jalen Wells from Memphis.
Okay,
I think Castle might take that one.
probably.
Defensive Player of the Year, you got Dyson Daniels for the Hawks, Draymond Green for the Warriors, and then
Yeah.
Evan Mobley for the Cavs.
Ooh,
Mobley's a sneaky good defensive player.
I think he might win it, honestly.
I like Evan Mobley. That's a great draft pick. How the hell did the Cavs get a guy like that?
Yeah.
I mean, that is
Yeah,
a great player they have for Mobley.
Yeah, I think he could take it for sure.
Most improved, I think, is going to be tough too. Cade Cunningham, Pistons, Dyson Daniels, Hawks, and Ivica Zubac for the Clippers.
Ooh,
You'd probably think Cade, but both Daniels and Zubac had great seasons.
yeah. I think Zuby could take it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot closer than people probably think for that one.
I'm surprised AR isn't on there though.
Yeah,
Honestly, I
six
thought Austin
man,
Reeves would be on
Rudy
that list
Pritchard
for sure.
won. He went against Ty Jerome and Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley was a pretty good six man, even though he didn't win it, but second most threes in the league.
Yeah, yeah, he's having
But
pretty decent playoffs.
and then clutch player, we already know that. That was Brunson. Won it over Edwards and Jokic. Coach of the year, we got Kenny Atkinson for the Cavs,
Hmm.
JB Bickerstaff for the Pistons, and Imi Udoka for the Rockets. Those are your
Okay.
finalists.
Uh, okay. Not even
Mazzulla
JJ.
was up there. He was like a honorable mention name. And then they
Yeah.
added a couple awards this year. They have the typical ones: All NBA, All Rookie, All Defense. And then I think they've done Executive of the Year, the Tyman Stokes Teammate of the Year. But they don't have any
Okay.
finalists. They just kind of list off the awards. The Hustle Award, the Social Justice Champion, the Sportsmanship Award, and then the Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award. That's for the Professional Basketball Writers Association. So I kind of like the Hustle Award and Teammate of the Year Award. I haven't seen those before.
What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Everybody gets an award, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Their
just give out
participation
like
trophy
the shittiest team of the year, right? Let's just do that. Give that to the Jazz. Give them a
Yeah.
trophy.
And a gold star.
So halftime,
What?
60-46 Rockets.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Shit. Maybe the Warriors do get their asses kicked. Who knows?
Your St. John's team's loading up on guys too in the portal.
I haven't been paying attention, but glad to hear it.
They just got Dylan Mitchell from Cincinnati, and he was a preseason top 5 player. And they got he also visited Texas. Fifth guy in the portal that uh, Rick Pitino's got. Ian Jackson from
Yeah.
North Carolina. Bryce Hopkins from Providence. That's a huge pickup. Bryce Hopkins is going to be good for them. He's a good shooter. Josan Sannon from Arizona State and Oziah Sellers from Stanford. All five rank among the top 100 transfers. Holy shit.
I mean, it makes sense though, because they were probably paying attention to his one of his interviews when he was talking about the NIL. It was on the Pat McAfee show. So they were asking him how he's going to deal with the whole NIL landscape and stuff like that. How's that stuff changed for St. John's? And he kind of smiled and he's like, "Well, each team gets like $20 million, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, like 98% or like 90% of it or 85% of it goes to the football teams." And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like,
Oh,
"Well,
wow.
St. John's doesn't have a football team."
Oh, they
Which
don't?
means we get all the fucking money.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah, well, that tells you that's why he got all those guys. And all five of those will also team up with first team All Big East, Zuby, is it Ejiofor?
Yeah.
So that would be a uh, decent starting five right there. That's going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the $20 million. Dick Vitale actually said something on X earlier today. He's not happy with the transfer portal and all the nil stuff. He says, "Come on, what's going on? It's totally out of control. Are you serious? Some schools and hoops will have $20 million in the nil to distribute. Oh yes, a farce college sports has become. Please, and then he tweets at the NCAA, change in the NCAA booklet. Welcome to the pros for revenue sports.
Yep.
And I think he and a couple other guys, I think Jay Billis and I think Seth Greenberg were also pretty kind of Dick Vitale like. Went out and said, this is a joke. This is getting out of hand here.
Yeah.
You can't fault the teams. The teams are just doing what's given to them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna. They're like, oh, so you're gonna give us a bunch of money that you basically owed us anyway over the next 10 years, and we can pay to have players come here? Well, fucking, let's do this.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that?
How much? Do you got any more time? I can talk about some transfer portal stuff.
Yeah.
So this just came out here. Thought this was kind of interesting. This came out early this morning. The rankings for the teams after the transfer portal, top 25 rankings. Not good for my Gophers because number one's Purdue. They were ranked number two. Now they went up to number one. Um, they're going to keep their two big guys, Braden Smith and that Trey Kaufman Wren. And they also got South Dakota State Oscar Clough, Daniel Jacobson, Israeli guard Omer Mayer, and North Florida transfer Liam Murphy. So it's all depth guys, but they still get C.J. Cox, and I guess that Oscar Clough was the leading scorer in that conference, almost 18 a game. So they're number one.
Damn.
The Cougars dropped to number two. They were number one. They lost that Uzan. He declared for the draft. That Milos Uzan. I think that was the guy who hit all those big shots late in the game.
Think so.
But they returned. Emmanuel Sharp, I think he said on Easter that he's returning for another season. That'll be good for them. And one of the coolest names in college, Joseph Tugler. He's coming back as well. And
Got the tuggy.
Pop Isaacs, Sharp, and they also have two top 20 guys in the ESPN 100 high school. They'll be freshmen. Kingston Flemings and Chris Sennick Jr. Sennick is ranked number 6 and Flemings is number 20. So Cougars are going to be good again. Can they win that national title? That's the only thing holding that team back, man. They just Final Four after Final Four, and then they just lose.
Yep. But now Tuggy has a bunch of help, so you guys will be alright.
Tuggy's there. Then your St. John's is in third.
Yep.
They went up from 15 though. They were ranked 15th. They went up 12 spots.
Sounds like they've been spending a lot of money, so I'd hope so.
Got to spend that money, right?
If you're gonna run your school like the fucking Yankees, then I would expect you to be good.
4 of their projected starters are transfers, and they all averaged over 12 points a game. Texas Tech is 4th. They got 3 transfers. Louisville had the number 8 freshman coming into the league, Michael Brown. I didn't know Louisville was that good last. Oh, they got a couple good transfers. Ryan Conwell, Isaac McNeely. It's going to be interesting with all these guys moving around, man. I mean, I can't keep track of it all. I know the Gophers have, for the Gophers, they put together a pretty good transfer portal, but there's so many new players. It's like, okay, where'd this guy come from? Is he a high schooler? Is he college? It's like, I can't keep track of it right now. It gives me a headache.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's not like their name is like, freshman guard, blah blah blah. It's from blah blah blah. It's They have a separate title because that's where they came from originally.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Yeah, it's like watching like the football intros and stuff like that where they say what school they were from.
Yep.
Except, they play for the Ravens, but they were from, NC State or something like that. So
Yeah.
that's, God,
Some
it's
of these
bizarre.
guys have transferred like 4 times now because,
Yeah.
since COVID, you can transfer and play right away.
Yeah.
So it's like this guy played at San Jose State, then he played at New Mexico, he played at Virginia, now he's on Baylor. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Back when I was in high school, you played for one team, and typically it was
Yep.
4 years back then. Unless you're real good, then you played 1 or 2. Now
Yeah.
it's like you play at one, make your money, go somewhere else, make more money, go somewhere
Yep.
else, make more money, and then declare.
Yep.
What do you think about the nil and everything? Do you think it's good, or do you think it's killing the game, or what do you think?
I, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I think it's killing the game how they're going about it, but at the same time, the players were bringing in a lot for the universities, so they should have been getting something this entire time. So I think if you just sweep an issue to the side for a couple of decades, eventually some shit like this is going to happen where it's a complete overcorrection of the entire system.
Yeah,
They lean so far one way that now it's like NCAA practically doesn't even exist anymore, and it's just all the conferences dominating everything.
uh, you know. Did you ever watch the Johnny Manziel documentary?
No.
So, if you want to know about how nil and everything started, it's pretty much because of him. He got caught selling his autograph. And he said, "Well, you know how much money they're making off of me? I should be able to make
Yeah.
something." And
Yep.
if you ever watch Netflix, look it up. It's actually a pretty informative documentary on that. It
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
tells all about how much Texas A&M was making off him, and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars basically
Yep.
from him, because when he was in college, that was like the thing. Oh my God, Johnny
Oh yeah.
Manziel, and
Yep.
he made so much money for that school, and back then didn't make a dime. Then he got kicked out for the whole autograph thing. And then I think they ended up throwing it out because he had a case or something. And that's when I think the whole nil thing first started to get in everybody's heads. Like, well, maybe we should start paying these college guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been around for a while, but I feel like that's when it definitely started getting more traction.
Yeah, he kind of put that on the map. So all these guys making all this money should thank Johnny Manziel for getting this started.
Yeah. Because yeah, that was, I mean, there have been instances like that before, but I think that was one of, if not the biggest ones to date, where
Yeah,
it was so clear. I mean, it would basically be the same thing as like, if fucking LeBron played 1 year at like Kentucky or something like that
yeah,
and didn't get paid anything, couldn't take all those Nike deals and all that, like,
yep,
yeah, I'd be pissed too. And I'd probably want exactly what's happening right now. It's like, finally, give
yep,
me my damn money. So it's just a massive overcorrection, I think.
yeah, yep. One team for college basketball, I think, I know it's early, but I'm going to put them on the map. And you remember this, all right? BYU
Okay.
Cougars.
Really?
They got Richie Saunders coming back. They got transfer Robert Wright the third from Baylor, who's a really good player, and they have the number one freshman, that AJ Dybansta.
Okay.
So he's coming in, and I think all eyes will be on BYU because they got the number one recruit, and I think getting Robert Wright's a huge pickup for them, and keeping Richie Saunders, their leading scorer, almost 17 a game. I don't really care for like Mountain West, or they're in
Hmm.
Mountain West still, aren't they? I think so. Because their games are on at like 10 o'clock at night.
I
So I
think
don't
so.
watch a lot of them. Yeah, they didn't move conferences, did they? Let me see here. Oh, yeah, they're in Big 12 now. My mistake. Big 12.
Oh shit.
They moved with when all the Pac 12 teams moved. So BYU, I think, is going to be a sleeper, dangerous team to watch out for.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's about all I had for that. I mean, the rest of the top 10 is Yukon Huskies are up there, number 6. They have a couple high school guys in the top 15 coming in. Braylon Mullins. Michigan's up there, of course. More trouble for my Gophers. You know, they're just
Yeah.
getting killed by everyone else. Arkansas and Kentucky round out the top 10. Duke's out of the top
Yeah.
10 for transfer portal, which they don't really need to do anything because they have number 3 freshman coming in and number 21 freshman coming in like they typically do, right? They have the diaper dandies. They always have them.
Has Cooper Flag said whether or not he's coming back or not?
He declared for the draft.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yep, he is going to go to the draft. Remember Carlos Boozer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think this is his son, Cameron Boozer, who number 3 recruit is on Duke.
Okay. Nice.
And then your Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Bryce James isn't even on here for projected starting lineup. They didn't even mention
They
him.
might.
What the
They
heck?
might not
That's
start
weird. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't mention him, but they have 4. They have 3 guys in the top 20 incoming freshmen coming in
Hey.
that are projected to start.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's
Maybe
about all
we'll-
I had
maybe
for
we'll
that.
learn this.
Any NFL news you hear about or anything like that? Besides the Shannon Sharp stuff?
Yeah, besides that. Oh, God.
We can talk about it if you want to. It's, I mean, sure a lot of people have heard
Mm.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just something that went a little too far on a couple of occasions. Not obviously knowing him as a person, but just kind of buying into how passionate he's talked about his character and things like that over the years,
Yeah,
and the content of what he said and the things that he says without even thinking about it. I don't I don't see him as a bad dude. I think it's just I think he got a little carried away a couple of times, and
yeah,
she got a little pissed off because I mean, just in a couple of the messages alone, she was talking about like him putting a baby in her not too long ago.
yeah,
So it's like, well, yeah, I don't know. Now you went from that to you were charging him money anyway.
uh-huh.
Like,
Like
so you were already charging him
25K a
money.
cheek or something. She said something like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
So he was already paying you, first of all. Second of all, you're 30 years younger than him.
yeah,
You haven't done nearly as much. Well, obviously, she's an OnlyFans. She hasn't done anything, but
yeah,
of any significance. But so that comes out, and then yeah, the later stuff where it's like, oh, she actually did like when he was doing certain things. Obviously, not as aggressively, because you
yeah,
know. But in any case, that's kind of what led me to believe that I think things just got out of hand a couple of times, and I don't know. You, you don't really talk that way to somebody if they're like constantly doing that shit.
no. Yeah, it seems like they
Unless,
were kind of do whatever you want to me as long as you pay me type relationship to me.
yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly.
And then all of a sudden she might have found like a little loophole and say, oh, well, I can get some more money out of this guy and end it
Yeah,
and just go
yeah,
on and do my own thing. So I think maybe they were getting a little too close for her. You know, she just kind of wanted to be just, fuck buddies.
yeah,
And
yeah,
say, oh, wait, we're getting kind of close. Maybe I should just find a way to end this and get some money out of him.
yeah. I think it's really interesting the person that she hired.
I heard that he kind of prejudiced against other black people. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I heard that from Shannon Sharp. He said that as well. He quoted that, and there was another
He's,
woman that I can't remember who she was in another case, like a
mm,
legal person, who also said that she's noticed that he's been prejudiced kind of towards black people.
I think he's going after Diddy too. I think he's the
Yeah,
same lawyer that's going after Diddy.
yeah, and he was in the Deshaun Watson case.
Yep,
He was also the attorney on that.
little interesting,
So
but
I
it's,
think
I'm
he'll end up paying her, and they'll just go away.
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, yeah, because they were already talking about like there was already like a prior $10 million settlement for her not to go public with her bullshit, and now she's trying to sue him for 50.
And you hear the voicemails, and that you just assume, oh my god, that's terrible. What he says, like, and there's threats on there, but because I mean, Shannon Sharp's probably on the assumption, well, that's what we normally do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
This is normally
exactly.
how I talk to you,
Yeah, you like it.
Yeah.
You're one of
So,
those.
and I think the baby thing, she can have a baby with him, and then they won't get married, and they'll split up, and then she'll get child support from him. That's probably what she's thinking. And she's like,
Yeah,
oh, look at all those zeros coming in.
yeah, yeah. I think she kind of saw it as like, I like this kind of stuff, but I could definitely see how everybody else in the world wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that against him, kind of thing. And he also brought up the fact he's like, yeah, well, they're probably gonna release a 30-second, sex tape clip of me, doing all this shit, saying all this shit. He's like, I'll do you one better. He's like, how about you release the full 10-minute one?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't have it. Otherwise I would. But it's like, you're only gonna use a little bit. How about you use all of it? It was like,
Yeah.
well, shit. Obviously, he doesn't have anything to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's probably gonna be pretty bad.
And then he
But
got the text messages. He released those, and like, okay, I'll
yeah,
release the text messages I have.
yeah. So he's being like very upfront. Like, no, this is like for those of you that don't understand, there are these types of women out there.
Yeah.
Like, if you have as much money as I do, these are the kinds of women that you attract. Obviously, he shouldn't have been doing it in the first place because she's like
Yeah.
30 years younger than him. But hey, if she's fine as hell and she's,
Yeah.
it'd basically be like you and I paying like 10, $15,
Yep.
And after so long of being a celebrity, you can't tell me the thought's not going to cross your mind. You're probably not going to step
Yeah.
over that line. If these are the type of women, it's that simple, and you're
Yeah.
a single dude and you have more money than you could possibly come on. Like, let's be
Yep.
realistic. More
Yep.
than likely gonna happen. But
I'm sure he's not the only former athlete doing this. He's just I'm there's Deshaun Watson for one.
it,
He's
it
a
would be
current athlete.
baffling.
You know, Tiger
It would be
Woods. Look at Tiger
baffling.
Woods.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I, the
it's
the thing I like about Shannon Sharp though is like he comes on here and he owns it. Comes on the next day,
yep,
he actually talks about it. He says,
yep.
"This is my story. You can believe me or not. I'll release whatever you want me to release. I'm
Mhm,
cooperating with them, and you guys
mhm.
wait and see until you hear the whole story." He doesn't hide from it. He doesn't say, "Oh no, I'm not going to talk about that." Like a lot of people do. "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not going to comment on that." He comes out and he says it right away.
Well, even his lawyer, like the part on the voicemail is like, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you and all that. Like, the lawyer did not deny it at all. He was like,
Yeah.
that's how they talk to each other. Like, this is, it looks bad it's one of those, like, it looks bad from the outside,
Yep.
but like, let's be real, we're all human. We've all kind of had that like little side to us. That's what this is right here. We are seeing this dude in his most intimate, like, primal, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So yeah, it's gonna look bad from the outside, but that's not what this is. That's kind of
Yeah.
how it seems to me.
And like I don't know if there's any other. There wasn't any like other evidence of like him beating her. Which if he does that, then
No.
yeah, he deserves to go to jail for that. But
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
it just sounded like it was like just bedroom stuff, like
Yeah.
seduction type stuff.
uh, Yeah. She wanted to be, wanted to get a little rough and
Kind of
yeah,
like the
all
Trevor
that.
Bauer deal, right? Kind of like Trevor Bauer with him for baseball.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in the league for 3 years, and that lawsuit got dropped. He didn't even get
Yeah.
accused of it. She ended up dropping it, and he still can't get a job. He's pitching in China still.
Yeah. I think there might have been more to that one though.
And well, yeah, I think that they said he was. They ended up getting dropped for whatever he was doing. But anyone who obviously beats a woman should go to jail and pay the price. But with Shannon Sharp, doesn't sound this was the deal. Kind of
No, I
sounds
think on
like
the
they're
flip
just
side,
kind of freaky, just kind of freaky relationship, and she wanted to
Yeah.
didn't want to do that anymore, and he did, and I just think that's kind of how it ended up.
I think the repercussions, at least in these circumstances, where if it's proven that the man didn't do anything, I think the woman should serve some jail time for even putting him in that position.
Well, yeah, in the case for Trevor Bauer, ruined his career. He
Like,
didn't get in the he hasn't been in the MLB ever. He probably won't be.
he's just about to sign, I think it was like $100 million deal or something like that with this podcast company. He's on ESPN, which is owned by Disney. So obviously any type of negative shit like this is gonna have severe repercussions. He, then like we talked about earlier, he was already gonna give her $10 million just to not even bring it up. And now you're
Yeah,
going after 50?
yeah. I mean, she's
Like,
got to make good money doing OnlyFans, anyways, right? If Shannon Sharp found her, she's got to be
yeah.
making good money, right? He didn't just go, oh, let me just find some OnlyFans who's not popular. He probably went to like the top one.
I mean, if you're
She's
if you're
got to be
ballsy
making
enough to
money.
say if you're ballsy enough to say $25,000 a cheek, yeah, obviously you've seen that kind of money before for
Oh
doing
yeah,
that kind of shit.
that probably ain't the first time she's said that.
You hit up a couple athletes a week, you're making more money than most people do in a month, like
Yeah,
in their yearly salary. And all you got to do is, well, that. If
and
you're comfy with that, yeah, sky's the limit.
I think that was another reason why Shannon Sharp was so forthcoming, because he knows what this could do to his career, and he wants everybody to know the truth. He's
Yeah.
not hiding from anything. He's like, yeah,
No.
that's me in the voicemail. I said that, and okay, if she wants to do that, well, here's what she's saying to me in these text messages. She's trying to get money out of me.
Hmm.
And he
Hmm.
even said, I paid her X amount of money in the past to do things with her. He's not lying
Yeah.
about it.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Which,
a weird situation.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I wanted to stay away from it because I'm like, I don't know how to write this without sounding,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I
Can
didn't
you
know how
imagine
to.
what some of your comments would be?
No, I don't want it. That's what I thought about. Because immediately I saw the story and I was like, I definitely want to write about this. And the more I read about it, I'm like, dude, I don't know how to write this story without coming across as like a woman hater almost.
Yeah.
Like I don't want people
Yeah, it's a
to
little
read it
dicey.
and yeah, I don't want people to read it and completely think I'm like on his side 100%. Like, no, that's not what
Yeah.
it is. It's just, I don't know.
And then that'll like ruin your reputation too.
Yeah, before it even starts.
They'll be like,
So,
"Oh, look at this guy. This is that guy that sided with Shannon Sharp and he hates women and something like that.
yeah, he thinks it's okay to beat him and choke him. Like, no. No, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. These athletes, just personal life sometimes just gets out of hand. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, he just wants a little excitement in his life, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, nothing wrong at all. Especially if you know, so they're just like, hey, all you have to do is pay me $5 and have fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you think about so Patrick Mahomes says the Chiefs are ready to unleash their passing attack.
okay, now,
He's ready for a 2025 breakout, he says. Rashee Rice is going to be healthy again. Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown. Ooh, look out for this team. It's like,
I
that
don't know,
doesn't
man.
scare anybody.
One of your main issues with your offensive line, so you got to shore that up. And another issue that became kind of glaring is an aging Travis Kelce, who is also a very, very large part of that passing attack. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Could prove us wrong though. I mean, he's done it a bunch of times already, but I just don't see it.
I mean, hasn't he already broken out? Like, what's he talking about breakout? Like, I understand they haven't been, as good, but What does he have to prove?
I don't know. I think he's just talking about like getting back to the high flying Chiefs kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which case, I mean, if he's throwing just yeeting the ball down the field to Worthy all the time, then that'd be pretty sweet.
Was it was it Worthy or Rice that was out last year for them? One of them was out for the
Rice.
year. Was it
It's
Rice?
Rice. Yeah.
I don't think Hollywood Brown does anything for that team. He hasn't done shit in years.
I'm bummed that they got rid of D Hop.
Where's he gonna go? I mean, is he gonna hang it up, or is he gonna still play?
I don't remember where he went. I want to say he went to Oakland.
Did he? Let
I
me look
think
him up.
so. Oh shit, Golden State's coming back again.
Oh, he's on
Still
the
down 14.
Ravens.
Oh shit, well, good for him.
He's only gonna be 33 in June. I thought he was in his mid 30s already.
That's what I thought. He's got a couple
33
seasons
June
left.
6th, man.
That'd be cool seeing him with Lamar though.
Yeah, that'd be a good duo.
Watch him talk a bunch of shit about Patrick Mahomes after a couple of weeks with Lamar.
Yeah.
Like Mahomes isn't half the man this motherfucker is.
NFL draft tomorrow. The Titans already said they're taking Cam Ward.
I bet he's stoked about that.
I was gonna say, have fun in fucking Tennessee. They have no O line, and they have nobody to throw to. Have fun.
They have Will Levis, Mr.
Yeah,
Mayonnaise
it's gonna
himself.
be bad, 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 bad.
So you have nobody to teach you.
Your Cardinals are projected to take a wide receiver. Not what you wanted to hear?
No.
Matthew Golden out of Texas.
I mean, cool. We'll have awesome receivers, but I think we need a better quarterback still.
Says Arizona checked off its front seven needs in free agency. Says they still need some cornerback and wide receivers, but the most recent buzz at adding offensive firepower in the front office is their top priority, making Golden an appropriate selection. So
Whatever,
yeah,
man.
who do they got? The Vikings. They got this one has them taking a safety out of South Carolina. They're also rumored to be taking that running back out of North Carolina, that Amari Hampton.
Okay.
He he's pretty exciting. I've seen some of his tapes. He's pretty exciting, but he'll probably come to the Vikings and get hurt. So that's typically what happens. They just get hurt and they're not good.
God. Both Minnesota and Arizona are gonna suck this year.
Can you believe the draft is in Green Bay? I mean, come on.
I mean, what
Green
better
Bay
place to
sucks.
have it than beautiful Green Bay?
Where's
In
Shador
April.
Sanders? Where's he projected to go?
Last time
Travis
I heard
Hunter.
it was like 21st.
Travis Hunter and this one's projected to go number 2 to the Browns.
And they still don't have a quarterback, so that would be unfortunate.
Shador.
They could draft Shador.
Ashton Genty projected to go to the Jaguars, which,
That
yeah, they
sucks.
have no running back or wide receiver. And, yeah, another one just like Cam Ward. Good luck with that. Where's Shador? Shador's fallen down over the last couple days. What's going on with... Oh, there he is. Oh, the Steelers, of course, are projected to take him.
Okay.
I think the Steelers have looked at like 8 or 9 different quarterbacks this year, haven't they?
They're still waiting on that call back from Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers. They inquired about Kirk Cousins. They inquired about Sam Darnold. They were wondering if they're going to keep Russell Wilson. They wanted Jameis Winston. It's like, Jesus, man, are you guys going to get anybody you want?
I think that really fucked up by starting Russell Wilson last year.
I think Russell Wilson's a clown. Everywhere he goes, it just people talk about him like not great things. He's just weird and like
Yeah.
he tends to kind of distance himself from the team, from what I've heard.
Yeah. And Fields was like 4-0, and then they decide to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what was up with that?
So it's like not only did you show the team that you lost confidence in your starting quarterback, but the starting quarterback lost confidence in himself after that. And then
Yeah,
at the end of the season said, "Fuck you guys." And then you get rid of what Russell Wilson anyway, and now you're left without a quarterback.
yeah.
Why did, why didn't you just keep Justin Fields?
And they've struck out on getting a quarterback this offseason.
Like they
I
don't
think they even tried
what
to
hap
get Joe Flacco, but he resigned.
like what happened to the days where you would draft a quarterback and just bite the bullet for the first couple years, make him into the quarterback that you want with the system that you have,
Yeah,
and then you start making playoff runs after that. It happened with, I don't know, a bunch of them.
I think they tried that with Mason Rudolph. It didn't work out. So then maybe they're a little hesitant now.
Well, just don't pick a shitty one. But I mean, like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
just the just the past, like, I don't know, ever since I became a football fan in like the early 2000s, that kind of always seemed to be the thing. Is you wouldn't trade for most of the time, you wouldn't trade your star quarterback or get another star quarterback from somewhere else. It was like Chargers with Philip Rivers, and then like, obviously he ended up somewhere else, but Tom Brady, Peyton Manning stayed with the Colts for a long ass time. Like all these dudes stayed with the same teams for a long ass time, and now it's like if a starting quarterback does shitty for a year or two, then they're out of there, and you're trying to get another. It's just it doesn't make sense to me.
yeah. I haven't known
It's
what the
microwave
Steelers.
success.
I don't know what they're doing. Last couple of years, I don't know what the hell they're doing with their team. I mean, they got DK Metcalf. That's a good
Yeah,
pairing with George Pickens, but you have Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson as your quarterbacks.
yeah,
Like, how's that going to work?
yeah. Pickens is an asshole half the time, so
And he's another guy. Is he going to stay on the field, or is his off-field stuff going to be a distraction?
it's always going to be a distraction. I mean, unless DK can get him to, but if Mike Tomlin can't even do it, I don't even. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think the Vikings have a backup quarterback yet either. They're in trouble. They've been trying to get a backup QB for. Yeah, they have no one on their roster right now besides after McCarthy. So that's why they've been. Now they're entertaining possibly getting Kirk Cousins back.
Yeah,
Like, because Atlanta's like trying to pay half his salary, 20 million. They're saying they pay 10. And it's like if you're the Vikings, God, stay far away from that. I don't want that guy anywhere near this team.
what if the Vikings traded up and got Shador,
Would you
paired him with
compete
Justin
with JJ
Jefferson?
McCarthy then, or what would you do? Because they've already declared McCarthy's the guy.
Mm, they can learn under McCarthy, and at the very least, you could use Shador for assets next year,
Better than Kirk Cousins. I do not want him.
because that would
But
kind of expedite the process of you getting back to the playoffs. Even if McCarthy doesn't do super super well this year,
yeah,
you still have a dude on the sideline that has a year's worth of NFL experience that you could then leverage to build out your team or get a better quarterback next year.
I think the Vikings only have 4 picks because they traded a bunch away. Yeah, they're not sitting very big and good with assets right now. So like if they were to
Well,
move up, I don't know what they would do to move up. You know, they don't have. They'd have to get probably a first round pick. That's all they really have.
we'll draft Shador and then tank this season so that way you have more next year.
Yeah, I don't know what their
Don't
off season
overthink it.
acquisitions if the tanking's in their thoughts. You know, because they got Ryan Kelly, they got Will Fries to shore up that offensive line. They got a couple good defensive tackles. I don't know. They've stressed getting a a veteran quarterback this whole offseason, and everybody besides Rodgers and Cousins have signed.
Yeah.
Flacco's gone, Dalton's gone, Winston's gone. You know, those guys, they're two back. Daniel Jones is gone. They had Daniel Jones. He's gone as well. He'd be a good backup.
Anytime.
He'd be a good backup.
Yeah.
He made his money on one game. That was against the Vikings. Do you remember that game? He had like 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's like 41-10. Giants killed him. After that,
It's like,
$40 million.
yep. They're like, here you go, buddy. Lead us into the promised land. And he's like, nah, I'm good.
Wish I could go into my work and do something good, and they just say, "Yeah, we'll give you $20 million." Okay,
Right?
and then just do everything half-assed and not care.
Yeah. Like you have to play football, but like you also get $20 million. You can basically do whatever you want and have legal immunity.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you want girls, you want a house, we could throw that in the contract too.
yep.
Comes with a yacht and a badass car. It's actually parked outside right now. Like, any questions? Nah, bro, I'm good.
40 million for Daniel Jones. I mean, at the time, that had to have been one of the worst contracts in football, right?
Yeah.
Considering the guy got cut, he got demoted, and he made his money on one freaking game. That's it. That Viking game.
You barely won at all.
At least he got out of New York. Less pressure now.
I guess.
Or where did he even go? Do you even know where he went?
I think the Colts.
Yeah, he did. Yep. Indianapolis Colts. 8
So they
touchdowns,
still
7 picks last year.
Yep, so they still suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got him or a dude that took himself out of the game because he was tired. So you guys are
That's
fucked.
right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Richardson. He just walks off the field. What are you doing? I'm tired. What are you
Yeah.
doing, dude?
Yeah. And then he
That
then he
was
told the media, he's
great.
like, "Yeah, I just needed to take a breather for a little bit." They're like, "Motherfucker, you don't get to take a breather. You're the starting quarterback of an NFL team."
That was awesome. He just
That was
starts walking
ridiculous.
off.
He's like, "Yeah, I just got to chill for a little bit, man. I'm a little winded from last play." And they're like, "Are you serious right now?"
Yeah, that's. I totally forgot about
It
that till you mentioned that.
was insane.
All right. Any
But yeah,
other? What other football news? Anything good?
nothing that I've heard.
Kirby Joseph. I don't get what the Saints say. They hope to have clarity on Carr's injury. I don't know what that even means. What do
Like a
you mean?
timeline. Yeah, I don't know. How he got injured? Who
Well, here's
knows?
kind of a Cowboys thing. Jerry Jones says they're working on substantive trades right now.
Wow, they're actually gonna trade, huh?
Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, too, right?
He's probably gonna trade for like one dude and be like, "We're that's all we needed. We're gonna oh, we went 4-11 again. Or 4-13."
Yeah. You know, Jerry Jones will mess it up. He'll do something stupid.
Oh, he always does.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys. $37 million in cap space.
Have they signed Micah yet?
No, but he says they have the major stuff done. It's just some of the minor stuff they're still working on.
Interesting.
But they have the money and the length down.
As much shit as he talks about that organization on his podcast, like you would think that he would just leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, I think he's gonna want to.
Probably.
Yeah,
Sign up.
another stat too. He hasn't made a blockbuster deal since getting Amari Cooper in 2018. So it's
Yep.
not like he makes huge trades ever.
No. No, they rely on drafting, which he thinks he's the greatest at.
I mean, a lot of guys he drafts don't even fit to their system. They're not even like you have a passing offense and you get run blockers.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit that he drafts. It's guys that aren't even like in your system.
Yeah, according to him, they might not have, a big enough Johnson for the Dallas name.
Yep.
You remember him talking about that?
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. That's
Just hysterical, walking around in spring training like, yep, got the
yeah.
biggest players, the biggest muscles, they all have the biggest cocks. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, that guy over there, big one. It's like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't know that was like a check mark to play in the Cowboys.
Apparently, it had
The
a little
guy.
bit of a weird undertone to it too, but we don't have to get into that.
I think the guy's lost it. You know, he needs to just
Yeah.
go away.
It's like you realize you're in like the 2000s, not the 1800s, right? Okay, just
Yeah,
making sure.
let your son take control, step away, let it go, and go ride off onto your jet or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's not like you've steered the franchise in a positive direction in quite a while. Like, yeah, cool, you have Dak and you guys were a great regular season team, but postseason matters like a lot. So,
Just go Al Davis on it. The Raiders were in shambles. He finally got rid of it to his kid. And he doesn't have to deal with it anymore, and then he just dies.
yeah,
Jerry Jones just teams in shambles. Just give it to your son. Let him deal with it.
you're like 90 something anyway, dude. Just let it go.
I don't think he can or he ever will. He's the type of guy who cannot let it go. He cannot let other people be in control of his team.
He's just jaded. And he's like, no, but live and die with the Cowboys.
He harassed
So, yeah,
Jason Garrett for years.
of course.
Remember the stress that guy talked about, Garrett? He was under pressure like every single game because Jones would be like right next to him, like uh, overdoing what he's calling, and no, you gotta do it this way. No, we don't do it this way. It's like go back up in your press box where you belong. I'm the coach. You're the owner. You go up there.
Yeah,
But as an owner, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
yeah. Meanwhile, Tony Romo's like, I'm gonna stay out of this shit. I just got with Jessica Simpson, so like we're
Yeah.
we're
Yep.
chilling over here. Just let me know who
Yep.
to throw the ball to.
I'm
I'm
feeling
out.
pretty
I'm
good
out
no
of there.
matter what you guys decide to do, right?
Yeah, I'm on cloud nine right now, so yeah.
Yeah. Do you like
But
Tony Romo as an announcer? I know a lot of people are annoyed of him.
it's very, very smart.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize how good of an analyst he was. I think it was God, I can see him in my head too. Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman was talking about him on First Take or something like that. And he was talking about a play that a lot of people thought Romo got wrong. So he called the play and he's like, "Yeah, it should be a run player. This guy needs to go here," or something like that, but kind of the opposite happened.
Yeah.
But it was only because one of the players, like Sherman pointed out, didn't do his job properly. Had he done his job properly, that play would have happened exactly how Romo predicted it would happen.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was stuff like that.
He's up on the calling the game, and he's like, "Oh, this play here, this is gonna be this and this." Sure enough, exactly like
Yeah,
what he said.
yeah. It's impressive as hell.
And I
Like,
think
yeah, he
at
sounds like
first
a
people
dipshit
didn't like
sometimes,
that.
but
People are like, "Oh, he better." But now I think it's like, this guy's just really smart.
yeah, they thought it was like him criticizing like this is what should happen. No, he's
Yeah.
saying this is what's gonna happen or this is what the other team should do because
Yeah.
he's seeing something on the other side of the ball. It's automatic for him.
Yeah.
So it's pretty damn impressive. Because I thought he was an idiot when I first heard him too, and then I
Yeah.
started seeing more instances like that, and I was like, he might be like the best one.
Yeah, everyone's probably, oh, look at this know-it-all trying to call the plays. It's like, oh wait, he's actually calling what the play is. He's pretty smart.
Yeah, on both
And
sides of the ball at the same exact time.
and then the other insight and analysis that he provides is just remarkable.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, what do you think his interview process was like? Like, oh yeah, okay. Well, what kind of experience do you have announcing? Well, none, but I know a hell of a lot about the game. Okay, you're hired. You didn't
Yeah.
think you needed to do an interview? Just, oh, yeah, we're gonna just hire you right now.
Yeah.
Like, what do you
It's
think
probably,
Tom Brady's interview with the league was
I was
to
just
be an
about to say.
announcer?
They're probably like, "You want to do this?" He's like, "No." They're like, "We'll give you $120 million for 4 years of your time." He's like, "All right, so where's that fucking paper?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Who's got the pen?
money talks,
What do I
right?
have to do?" They're just like, just talk about the game, dude. Like, all right, cool.
That's easy for me, right?
Yeah, he probably took a class or two. He's like, I got this shit.
And then every once in a while, we'll show you on camera during like halftime, and
Yeah,
otherwise, it's pretty much gonna be on the field.
yeah. Just be handsome and talk about football. He's like, I've been doing that forever. It's like, okay, we'll keep doing that. Here's $120 million.
Yeah,
That's how this works.
like he even needs that. Come on, he's rich.
Right,
He don't need
right.
any of that. He should be like,
Uh,
I'm gonna donate that to people who need it, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's what he does.
That'd be the day.
They probably deposited like the whole chunk into his account, and then he's just has so much money he had to call the next day and be like, "Hey, so when's that deposit going through?" They're like, "Motherfucker, it already went through." It's like, "Oh, I didn't even see it in there. My bad."
Wonder what he thinks when he gets paid, seeing all that money go into his account. Man, it's got to be refreshing, right?
I know exactly what he thinks. He just looks at it, smiles to himself. He goes, "I'm Tom fucking Brady."
Yep. Talk about Jerry Jones with big cocks and everything. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm Tom fucking Brady. I have a huge
Yep.
cock.
Yep. This is a millionaire's cock right here. This is a billionaire's cock.
He's probably like, oh, my account slipped under 100 million. Oh wait, I get paid another 35 million today. Okay, we're back over
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Whew. Almost forgot I'm Tom fucking Brady, but yet indeed I am still Tom fucking Brady.
That's
Yep, that's
right.
exactly what happens.
And his wife still makes more money than he does. Maybe
Yeah,
used to. I don't know
probably.
about it anymore, but
She's chilling down in Costa Rica. She's
no,
she's doing all right.
they're separated now. That's
Yeah.
right. He's like a single guy.
Yep.
God, him and
He's
Tiger Woods
probably
are having
do.
a heyday right now.
He's probably hitting up some OnlyFans models is what he's doing.
Maybe he referred Shannon Sharp to a couple girls
Maybe.
because he's good
He's
friends with Tiger Woods. They're hanging out.
like I told you, Shannon, when she asked you to spank her and slap her, you shouldn't have done it. This is what happens. He's like, but she asked me to over and over and over again. He's like, you still shouldn't have done it. Because now you did it.
Yeah, Shannon, that dog collar was too tight, man. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to really choke her. She didn't mean that.
Yeah, exactly.
Warriors are down 20 in the fourth.
Alright, it's over.
Jalen Green is 30. He's always been that type of scorer, though. High volume
Yeah.
shooter. Yeah, 10 and
Uh,
21. He's not shooting great, but Sengun's already got a double double.
Damn.
And
Checking
Dylan
that
Brooks
score.
13, Sengun 15 and 13. Terry Eason off the bench with 14. I think I wrote an article about Terry Eason. He had a decent year. 12 and 6 off the bench. It's not bad. He was averaging 21 minutes a game. That ain't bad.
No,
He's a good role player for a team. Suns could use him.
maybe.
Although Suns could use a lot of players.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not doing too hot.
All right, well,
No.
Friday game 3, Wolves Lakers. I'll be tuning into that.
Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be a pivotal game for both teams. It's going to be.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think game 4 might be even bigger. If the Wolves win game 3, game 4 is going to be huge because they're going to need that
Yeah.
one.
It's gonna be 2 crushing home losses. Sorry to disappoint you.
Hey, they did it against Denver. They lost their 2 at home and won their 2 on the road.
We'll see. We'll see.
Just remember what Anthony Edwards said to that fan in L.A.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
remember that you're coming to our town. His
Yeah.
his big dick. That's what he's talking about.
Well, the other one that we've been talking about for a while said Lakers in 5, so I'm sticking with that one.
I'm saying Wolves in 6. No, I didn't say that, did I? I said Lakers in 7.
You said Lakers in 7. Yep.
Yep.
He got really hyped about it. He's like, "Yeah, Memphis is gonna fuck them up and blah 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 blah." Lakers are probably gonna win though. I was like, "All right, well." Like you had me convinced. You almost got me to start rooting for him, and then yeah, you're like, nah, they're still gonna lose though.
Yeah, well, hopefully the refs will be on our side now for these next 2 games.
I mean, I doubt it, but
I mean, I doubt it too. I hope, you can always hope.
do you want? I mean, would you want a 6'8", 260-pound 40-year-old about to whoop the shit out of you for not calling or miscalling something? Because I wouldn't.
Well, he flops like he gets killed. Like he got shot by a gun when he flops.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Like, what the
Honestly,
hell is that?
he's come out and talked about it. People that used to play with him, current and former teammates, even people that went like from one team thought that he flopped way too much to then joining him. They've all kind of said the same thing. Like, motherfucker doesn't get enough calls. Like, you think he flops? He does that shit because you have to think playing against him as strong and big as he is, he's probably getting the shit beaten out of him on a regular basis and is getting fouled a lot, and they never do get called.
Yeah.
So if he sees an opportunity to get one back, yeah, he's gonna sell that shit to make sure like he gets the call. It's not right. It is kind of cheap, but that's just the overall story I've gotten, and it's not even from like one or two ex-teammates. It's like from people that actually didn't like him before they got there, and we're like, yeah, this dude doesn't get any calls as far as I'm concerned. It's like, damn.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't hear that. Well,
Yeah, I forget who the hell it was, but it's a couple of different dudes.
Lakers went out to a quick 5-0 run, cut it to 15. Rockets had to call timeout, 8.5 to go. Uh,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
one
it
more
was.
time. Tomorrow, Knicks, Pistons, Thunder, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Clippers. Friday, Lakers, Wolves, Celtics, Magic, Pacers, Bucks. Saturday, Cavs, Heat, Thunder, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Clippers, and then Rockets and Warriors.
Yes,
Should be
sir.
some fun basketball.
Yep, yep. Be back on what, Saturday then?
Yeah, come back Saturday and be talking about at game 3, and then also we can recap that the Knicks Pistons, that good series that's going on there too. See if maybe the Grizzlies or Heat can win a game, or the Magic.
The Heat way more likely than the other two.
Oh, the
Like the Heat, the
Grizzlies are
Magic,
checked out, man. Grizzlies have checked out months ago.
yeah.
I'm surprised they even wanted to make the playoffs the way they've been playing. They probably didn't even want to win. But Dallas is just that bad.
Yeah. They're probably like, fuck, we gotta face OKC, dude. I wanted to be on vacation at this point.
I mean, if I were Memphis, I'd say the same thing. Ja can get to the clubs even quicker.
Yeah.
But all right, well, that's it for another episode. I appreciate you joining me. It was fun as always.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to everyone tuning in, and we'll be back probably like Saturday night sometime.
Yep.
8 Central, 9 Central, somewhere in there, my time. So checking off, and everybody have a great night.